following is a presentation of TFNN. Time to talk about your health. Living a primal lifestyle.
We have Mike from Chicago on the line, and he has a question about digestion.
Hi, Mike.
Hey, guys. Happy Friday.
Happy Friday.
First of all, I just wanted to say that I love the show. I think it's great programming, and I'm very much of a like mind when it comes to, taking control of your own health and certainly doing your own research.
Call now, toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Internationally at 727-445-1044. Now your hosts, Nico Haan and Paige Clarke.
Happy Friday. Welcome to Living a Primal Lifestyle, where we explore a return to a more balanced, natural, wild world to take back control of our personal choices as well as our health and our freedoms. I'm Nico Haan.
And I'm Paige Clarke.
And it's a beautiful day here in downtown Clearwater. It's about 76 degrees, Paige. It's nice.
I enjoy it.
I love our Florida weather,
Especially our falls. They're so nice.
Yeah. I was telling somebody the other day that fall, I think, is becoming my favorite.
It
for
is
some
my
reason.
favorite.
Is
Fall's
it?
my favorite.
Used to be spring. I think that's because up north it was always, aha, spring is here.
Mm-hmm.
But now fall is kind of the aha moment for us, isn't it?
And I think for us, we talk a lot on our show about the importance of the seasons and how important
Yes.
living primal is. And that's what we want you guys to do. So make sure you subscribe to our Health Signals newsletter. Purported to be one of the very best newsletters available anywhere, with all the clickable links delivered into your inbox.
If you want to do the research, this is a good place to start, because I put my heart into this, finding articles that really make sense to me, and counter articles too. In fact, I'm putting up a little thing about these supposed mini ice age that's coming into my newsletter, and I had a counterpoint that I found, a nice video that kind of detracts that whole thing, so you never know what to believe.
You never know. It's always a pleasant surprise.
Yeah, and of course, please pick up some Primal Edge Daily Nutrition. We had a lot of people at the gathering last night try it and love it.
That's right. It was great to be able to sample it, and you guys are so lucky because you're tigers and tigresses, and you can use your Tiger Dollars that are available in your back office at TFNN.com to stay healthy and wealthy as you trade.
That's right, and we're taking your phone calls at 877-927-6648. So next week, we've got a holiday coming.
We sure do.
I always have mixed feelings. Of course, when I was a kid, I loved the Halloween. Because I take a pillowcase, and I expected myself to fill that sucker up with the candy and stuff.
It was all about the loot, wasn't it?
Oh, it was all about the loot, that's for sure. And it was fun, too, because you get to go meet some of the neighbors that you normally wouldn't go, because you're hitting every door practically. And some of them are kind of fun. I had, in our old neighborhood, I remember way up north in Canada, we had a couple of people that bring you in the house, scare the crap out of you.
Oh, yeah, they'd have things set up, and then you always knew which houses had the good stuff and which houses didn't.
Yes, that would go around pretty fast. Yeah, exactly. So, well, I found this on the web this morning, 10 tips for a fun and healthy Halloween. So I looked at it, and I thought this was pretty good. Number one was participate in the Teal Pumpkin Project, which I have no clue what that is.
I had no idea about the teal pumpkin.
But it's for food allergies. So there's a lot of that going around with the
well,
type
certainly
of food.
most of the candy fare that you're collecting at Halloween is absolutely riddled with potential food allergens. So great point.
Yeah, and that's, I'm always mixed to really, what do I give these kids, because my wife does buy some of the candies, and I just give a handful to each one, and I just go, oh boy, and I know they love it, so, we do that. But, so I've always had mixed feelings about Halloween, especially as I got older. What did you feel about it?
Well, as a kid, Halloween was a favorite of mine because I like dressing up. It's, the week after my birthday, so it was kind of like, oh, very, very cool. So, but I became very concerned about the safety of the candy. Do you remember when we were kids, or maybe after we had passed, where came out about people doing horrible things like razor blades and the candy?
Right.
So that sort of turned me off from the whole candy thing.
Right.
I really like to focus on more the harvest time, and people get creative with other things, other surprises in the gift bags, like little bags of nuts, dried fruits, and even though we may say that those need to be taken in moderation, I certainly think for children to look to something that nature has. I remember some people that gave out coins. Now, again, that's when candy was cheaper.
Well, now even if you put nickels and dimes in a bag and they could, the small little children could grab a handful, that's not a lot of money, but it feels
like a lot.
feels good. So I always thought about doing that, just having a bag there and say you can take one handful each, and there's money in there.
Yeah,
and
you go pick out something healthy with your money.
Yeah. You think they'll do that, though?
Probably not.
I wouldn't know. Okay, so the number 2 on here is swap the junk treats for healthy sweet treats.
That's kind of what we were talking about. Some
I guess
dried
so.
fruits or nuts or something like that.
Yeah.
Because that's another concern. You could actually make little treats, but a lot of people would be told, stay away from homemade goods because they might be tainted or some way. But I'm more concerned that I think most of the stuff you get at the store is more likely to be tainted.
Yeah.
There's actually a little discussion here about a no-bake pumpkin fudge, which sounds delicious.
That sounds pretty nice. That's this fudge is gluten-free, dairy-free, egg-free, and it doesn't even have to be baked. Sweetened only with ripe bananas. It's perfect. So that's a lot of sweetness too, bananas, but probably doesn't impact you quite the same way. But again, we're talking about treats.
It's a treat.
So we're talking about how much of your diet is a treat.
If you have 2 to 3
percentage?
meals a day.
Yes.
3 meals a day,
Then you have one
7's
treat.
21. You have once, maybe twice in that meal selection. That's less than 10% of your meal is sugar. I think you can forgive yourself. And a lot of people that are bodybuilding and training often talk about their what they call their cheat day.
Yeah.
And it lets the body kind of react to that little burst of sugar and then show that it's done a good job at learning how to recover.
Yeah, but if you're doing like the standard American diet and then you do a cheat day,
No.
then you're in trouble, right?
Yeah, it's kind of like we talk about, the glue of gluten. There's
so
a
we have to
reason
put
it's called gluten.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, good. Number 4 is whip up this veggie pumpkin ice cream. This
Yummy.
sounds pretty good. It's dairy-free, egg-free also. And it's a delicious way to indulge your sweet tooth, without avoiding the casein that's in regular ice cream, which would be the cow effect.
And we really need to encourage parents of children to make sure during these upcoming sweet treat holidays that are coming to really try and balance out the protein and the veggies to balance out their
That's what number
diet.
5 is all about. And that's a good, that's the way I look at my meal naturally. I start with the protein and whatever fat is with that protein. And then I add more fat. And then
Everything else is gravy, so to speak.
It kind of, yeah. That's the way I look at it.
There's a little mention here about bacon-wrapped mummy sausages, number 6. That looks pretty good.
That's
Coconut, avocado, and beet deviled eggs.
Ooh, I
that
like that
is
too.
beautiful.
Yeah. Now this, let me see if I can find a picture of this.
And I really liked this number 8, Nico. It talks about focusing on friends, family, and fall crafts instead of food. I have had a lot of fun. Maybe I can find the picture of my little front door. I did.
Yes.
I went to Michael's maybe after the break, and I got some hay bales, and
cool.
I did our front door. And it was kind of fun to do because the last couple of years, for whatever reason, I was either traveling or something. And
So
I
you're
didn't.
getting into the spirit. That's
Well,
nice.
I needed something with everything going on,
Yeah.
kind of, to have a different focus. But it's kind of helped. But I
Distract
think
yourself a little bit.
Yeah, I think that's a really, a nice thing to find a way. It's not about gathering things; it's about gathering memories.
Yeah,
Those memories are made with family and friends. So what better way than to say, hey, let's get together. Maybe let's have some fermented apple cider and or some, hot cacao as a
Or
treat.
go down in Michigan. We used to go down to the cider mill as a
nice.
group.
Oh yeah.
As a family. So those are nice little traditions. And number 9 here says really go on a fall hike, which is really nice. And if you're up north, of course, with the colors and more of the fresh air because that cold air is coming down from the north, it was always really invigorating. And here in Florida, it's a little bit different, but now we have the nice cooler breezes coming through. And certainly the wind has picked up, so there's always kind of a breeze. Right now we have low humidity, so that's really a treat for us, too.
It's really nice weather. I do miss the fall and leaf changes, and maybe you can scroll up and show this really adorable craft idea, which is to make autumn leaf lanterns. They are just precious. Look at those. One of my favorite childhood memories is in the fall, coming home from my walk home from school, because I lived always in the southeast, and collecting beautiful leaves. And my mom would get wax paper and an iron, and we would create...
And put them in books.
Well,
That's what
we
we
would
used to do.
iron them
Yeah.
in the wax paper, and then we would tape them up on our windows, so we'd have that
Oh.
colorful So this kind of
Yeah,
really
very
reminds
cool.
me of that, and this might just happen to be something that I do. I'm going to kind of hope to get up to someplace with some leaves here in the next couple weeks.
Yeah, that's nice. We had one of my customers brought in some leaves the other day from, she was visiting Pittsburgh area. And yeah, there was really nice colors in them, and does bring back some good memories. So one of the, the thing I always liked about the holidays was traveling and seeing family. And that's, I think, a good thing to maybe bring out too. Get your friends and everybody together and do a little Halloween or do a little fall solstice type of thing. That's a good time of year to do that. And,
Yep. We're, well, actually, tomorrow, Sunday is my birthday, but tomorrow is...
39?
Yeah, exactly. And holding. But on Saturday, I'm actually having the celebration of life for my dad. So, then we had our event last night. Maybe on the next break, you and I can talk a little bit about some of the things we highlighted at our goddess gathering.
Yes.
But, so I sort of, bittersweet. It'll be nice to be with family and friends tomorrow and remembering my dad.
Yeah.
But, so I got a busy weekend.
Yeah. So, last night when we had those things going on, the speakers were really good. I really enjoyed Venus, and Allie Ford was there too, and you spoke, and that was wonderful. And what was the doctor's name?
Dr. Patsonair.
Patsonair. She was wonderful.
Yeah, she's a chiropractor in Dunedin, and she's kind of on my advisory board for Doctor of Chiropractor.
Yeah, and these people really had some personal stories that they went through, and that was really what drove them to write the books and to tell the stories about their challenge with cancer, and specifically breast cancer, and what they did do and what they didn't do. And it was really interesting. We had much more alternative than we had.
Well, that was the whole reason.
That was the whole reason for the thing. But I thought the alternatives really turned out really well.
Right.
So that's, we know this stuff does work, and it probably works a lot better than it's being touted in the mainstream, is what I'm thinking about. And I don't think we've heard, how long has breast cancer been on the radar? Because I remember back in the days when I was growing up, I never really heard about that, not until about the 70s or 80s did it start coming about. So what's the deal with that?
It's really kind of parallels the increase in toxic substances, and that was a real big point. For those of you who may not know, we had our first inaugural goddess gathering at the Indaba Spa. Indaba is Zulu for gathering, and I've created this group, and I'm certainly hoping that I can maybe eventually invite any of you, tigers or tigresses, who may want to join our group, because we're going to be a group of goddesses that gather, and we gather for good.
There was over 100 people there, I think, last night.
And when people gather for good, great things happen. And this is really kind of my brainchild and my passion to kind of create this group. So the intent was it's not about the cure, it's about the prevention. And it wasn't about necessarily breast cancer, but breast health. And that the real way that we're going to cure breast cancer is to not get it in the first place. Yeah. So we had a great turnout, and we'll share a little bit more about that.
Yeah,
we're going to go on a break now.
And I enjoyed going as a guy, and there was only a couple of other guys there.
Yeah, you were our token god, and we were glad you were there.
I like that. I like that.
Yeah,
Thank you so much.
yeah, more to come now.
We'll be right back. 877-927-6648. We'll be right back. You know what's cool? Taking something that's good for you. Something specifically formulated to help with weight loss, better sleep, stress reduction, and the need to detox.
Nico, our hunter and gatherer ancestors found all their nutritional requirements for health in their wild environment. But today, our food sources no longer contain the vitamins, minerals, and nutrients our bodies need to stay healthy and strong.
That's why we need Primal Edge Daily Nutrition. It includes a special blend of ionic, soil-based vitamins, minerals, fatty, and amino acids in an easy-to-use liquid form.
Primal Edge is powered by highly concentrated fulvic and humic acids, nature's preferred delivery system. They have been called miracle molecules because, like sunlight, air, and water, life cannot exist without them.
That's right, Paige. They ensure we receive all the nutrition we need to be healthy and thrive. We take it every morning.
Primal Edge, formulated and approved by Nico and Paige of Living a Primal Lifestyle. Buy it today for just $89. Click on the Primal Edge banner on the front page of TFNN.com. Tiger TV is an exciting way to experience TFNN programming. See high-definition video, giving you crystal clear charts, as well as seeing some of the faces of TFNN's highly acclaimed financial experts with crisp, full-fidelity sound. Catch Tom O'Brien, John Logan, Steve Rhodes, Basil Chapman, Larry Pesavento, Think or Swim, David White, Andy Hecht, and Daryl Martin in crystal clear, high-definition audio and video. Tiger TV, exclusively at TFNN.com. Platinum, grains, crude oil, gold, copper, cattle, hogs, gasoline, natural gas, coffee, cotton, cocoa, and sugar. These are just some of the commodities mentioned in the most recent issue of Andy Hecht's Techno-Mental Commodity Report. Andy publishes his weekly newsletter every Thursday morning, where he breaks down the commodity market and provides his subscribers with specific trading recommendations based on his trading methodology. By signing up for a free trial to the Techno-Mental Commodity Report, you'll get a full 30 days to try out this powerful newsletter service and see for yourself the types of trades Andy has recommended for his subscribers. When you sign up for a 30-day free trial, you're under no obligation to pay anything. And should you decide to continue, you will lock in the low rate of only $79 a month. Sign up right now for the Techno-Mental Commodity Report and make sure you're ready to catch the next big trade in commodities. For more information and to get started today, visit the front page of TFNN.com.
Biotech is booming, but for how long? Whether you think the biotech bull has room to run or has run its course, trade LABU or LABD. Direction's daily S&P Biotech 3 times bull and bear ETFs. Visit directioninvestments.com/biotech today. An investor should consider the investment objectives, risks, charges, and expenses of the Direction shares carefully before investing. The prospectus and summary prospectus contain this and other information about Direction shares. To obtain a prospectus or summary prospectus, please contact Direction shares at 866-476-7523. The prospectus or summary prospectus should be read carefully before investing. An investment in the funds is subject to risk, including the possible loss of principal. The funds are designed to be utilized only by sophisticated investors such as traders and active investors. Distributor Foreside Fund Services, LLC.
Many of our new listeners have heard about the Tiger's Den, but wondered, what exactly is it? The Tiger's Den is a lively community where professional traders and investors can meet, exchange ideas and information in a comfortable, moderated atmosphere. Hear all of your favorite TFNN shows, plus see all the charts as they happen live during those shows, and have access to all those charts. You can test drive the Tiger's Den absolutely free for 30 days. It will greatly enrich your knowledge of these markets. Details on the Tiger's Den are on the front page of TFNN.com. Nico and Paige take your phone calls now. Toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Internationally at 727-445-1044.
Welcome back, folks. Nico and Paige here on Living a Primal Lifestyle. Now, the World Health Association is going to declare that bacon and other processed meat cause cancer in this article. This just came across this morning that I saw it. And they said red meat is also expected to be on the list as probably carcinogenic to humans.
Well, what we're seeing is this is kind of consistent with the findings of, you know, as you and I have discussed, some kind of counterpoint thinking. Mm-hmm. That perhaps like maybe even Drs. Colin Powell, Colin Campbell of the China study, some of the people who are talking about that there is a higher incidence of cancer in people that eat meats. But again, what do we have to do, Nico? We have to go back and look at the source. Yeah, exactly. Just like we look at something and we look at what caused it. Yeah.
You know, I was talking to one of the ladies that came in and she was talking about diet and she says, you know, I never know what to eat and stuff like that. I said, you know, I gave her a couple of little tips, but, you know, she never even thought about the health of the animal that she was eating.
Yes, and that's what we teach here. It's not about just unconsciously eating red meat at 3 meals a day. That obviously would be overwhelming to the system, but if you do choose to eat an animal, you want to make sure that the animal is eating what it was created to eat, its natural diet. Yeah. And you and I have been trying to share that.
And it's, you know, it takes more work.
Yeah, but the average American does eat too much.
Oh, I agree with you because remember, we're focused on the meat, we're not focused on the fat. which I'm focused on. So, and it's not really about me, but I think if you start changing your thinking about what is the fuel for us, I mean, it's obviously not sugar, even though if you read most textbooks, and I read a couple of them this weekend that really talk about the major source of energy for human beings is carbohydrates. And that's the general thinking that everybody has. And to change that mindset is very difficult. And that's the thing that we have to get across, Paige, because I really do believe that our main source of, I mean, we're born into a ketogenic state.
Yeah, we're born in a ketogenic state. Ketogenic, folks, means using fat as fuel. And our mother's breast milk, it has an extremely high percentage of fat, and that's why it's so healthful. But again, you know, as you mentioned, that people eat too many carbohydrates, just the same as we want to clarify that the animals we need to, if we do utilize animal foods, we need to be conscious about it, grateful for it, and sure that this animal is eating its natural diet, you know, wild-caught fish,
so
free-ranging chickens,
exactly.
Cows that graze on rapidly eating grass. But at the same token, when Nico mentions carbohydrates, you know, I believe I happen to enjoy colorful carbohydrates in the way of fruits and vegetables more than you do. And I feel they're an important part of the diet. And again, same thing.
I think they are
carbohydrates that are grown in their proper way, wild, raised in a non-toxic, chemicalized, herbalized, you know, herbicidal environment. And to avoid those man-made processed frankenfoods, which include very inflammatory grains such as gluten. The hint is in the ideology of the word, gluten, glue, which you use to make paper mache.
One of the things they're saying here, too, is that evidence shows there's probably a link between eating red and processed meat and the risk of bowel cancer.
Is it the meat, or is it what toxins are residing in those meats?
Yeah, and then they say, however, it says beef, lamb, pork can be part of a healthy diet. It's a good source of protein, provides minerals and vitamins such as zinc and iron. It's, you know, there's very confusing to people when they read this.
So here's this headline that's confusing people, right? Yes. Declared caught, but they don't teach people. It's kind of like the whole message you and I said. You know, they create last night, you know, be scared, look for a lump. And I said, instead of looking for a lump, loosen your lymph, you know, on your breast. Let's change what we do. Instead of saying that all meat's bad, let's teach people how to make good choices, you know?
And this is just a relatively new problem, because if you go back just a couple of 100 years, we really didn't have those factory farms. Most people were feeding their cattle with the grass. And remember, when we talk about eating animals, we're only talking about the animals that are really eating the vegetation. We're never talking about the predators, because we're the predator too. We don't eat cats, and we don't eat dogs, and lions.
Tigers.
Well, I might eat a dog if I have to, but you know, it's generally not.
Okay.
So.
I know what you're saying.
Yeah, I know.
You're talking about in a survival state. You know, I'm sure that there's a lot of things that.
Yeah, I mean, I'll eat bread too if that's the only thing around, and I know I can't get anything else. It's a starvation food. It's the type of food that allowed us probably to survive many catastrophes.
Exactly, but guess what? We got to take a break, so we want to find out why chocolate is more likely to give you bowel cancer than red meat. So see, here we go. Another counterpoint. Stay tuned, and you'll hear what we have to say about that.
877-927-6648 if you'd like to join us.
You've heard Nico de Haan as co-host of Living a Primal Lifestyle, which airs every Friday at noon Eastern Time on TFNN, and would like to tell you about the personal training studio that Nico is the owner and president of, Performance Training. Since 1998, Nico has trained individuals and groups to improve their health both mentally and physically. As a certified personal trainer, Nico's main focus is on demonstrating exercises correctly to avoid injury and teaching his clients how to manage their past injuries while getting getting the most out of their personal training sessions. The Performance Training Studio is filled with unique training equipment that enhances balanced results at a faster rate while minimizing damage and discomfort. For more information, you can give Nico a call at 727-418-8740 or email him at nico@tfnn.com. Let him know you heard him on TFNN and save up to $100 on a special package just for TFNN listeners. Act today. Has the current market volatility continued to stop you out of trades when the market spikes against you? Now is the perfect time to open up an account with Nadex. Nadex, the North American Derivatives Exchange, is a brand new, completely regulated Chicago-based exchange, and unlike most other exchanges, Nadex allows you to trade directly through them with direct market access when using their completely free trading platform, which also features real-time charts and full customization capability. One of the advantages of trading with Nadex in volatile markets is that your risk is always capped and you have the ability of keeping your trades open even when the market spikes against you. Nadex is completely brand new with a line of unique trading products that are unavailable anywhere else. See how it works at nadex.com. That's NADEX.com. Or click on the Nadex banner on the front page of TFNN.com. Futures and options trading involves risk and may not be appropriate for all investors.
If you're an active trader looking for that extra edge when it comes to trading and investments, then now is a great time to get a 2-week free trial to Tom O'Brien's daily market letter, Market Insights. Tom O'Brien's daily newsletter, Market Insights, comes out every market day at around 9:30 a.m. and provides Tom's daily commentary on the broad market, including the Dow, NASDAQ, and S&P, plus specific trade recommendations. There's even an update published most afternoons to keep you informed about the day's market activity. He'll give you the entry price, price target, and stop price of each stock and option trade. With Market Insights, there's nothing left to guessing. For all the details and to get your 2-week free trial to Market Insights started today, visit TFNN.com.
No matter where you listen to TFNN programming, we want you to know you can always access your favorite shows on demand through TFNN.com. TFNN airs live programming every market day from 8 a.m. till 6 p.m. Eastern, and you can view each program by accessing Tiger TV through our homepage. We even have an easy link for all mobile devices, including iPhones and iPads, located at the top right-hand corner of the TFNN homepage. You can use your smartphone to view Tiger TV, but if you don't have a mobile connection that can keep up with streaming live video, then you can simply visit TFNN.mobi in the browser of your smartphone for live streaming audio of all of our programs. The mission of TFNN is to educate our audience directly and interactively through our interactive website and radio call and talk shows. TFNN is able to teach all levels of investors the technical skills needed to trade in today's marketplace. In order to get the best information possible, TFNN has assembled the most respected financial minds in the country to provide the most current news and comprehensive advice available. TFNN.com, educating investors. This segment is brought to you by Think or Swim. For more information, just click the Think or Swim banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
And welcome back. I'm Paige Clarke, and I'm with Nico Haan, and we're living a primal lifestyle, and we want to help you do the same. You know, we just had a question from one of our listeners that they mentioned that they had watched a video based on the benefits of the vegan diet. From a physician, Dr. Neil Barnard. I am personally not familiar with Dr. Neil Barnard, but we're going to check it out a little bit here, and maybe we'll add a few points here or there. But there's a key point that I want to make about diets.
Okay.
And I, you know, maybe you can add to your thoughts. I'm not purporting to have the answers of what's the right thing for each and every one of us. And I think that we spend a tremendous amount of time arguing about who's right and who's wrong. You know, as I said last night, I'm not interested in competition. I'm interested in collaboration. And collaboration means we work together for the good and for the benefit of all. And just as there are people who thrive on a primal diet, there are people that thrive on a vegan diet. And instead, I invite you to take a look, Steve, at what they both have in common. What we are recommending is that people get away from man-made toxins and chemicals and unnatural situations. And that applies to those who find the vegan diet works best for them, and also for those who elect a primal or paleo or extremely ketogenic diet. The key is removing the toxins and the processed foods. And I do find that it is a challenge for most people to consume grains and have ideal health due to the poor nature of the glutinous grains or the improperly prepared grains. And unfortunately, you know, we've got a lot of vegans and or vegetarians maybe that say, yeah, you know, but they eat Kraft macaroni and cheese, you know, for example, you know, maybe that might be a vegetarian answer. It's about becoming educated about good ingredients within the diet we choose. But we are gonna, I will definitely check out the source you indicated. We'll talk more about it.
I agree with everything you say, but I like to put my 2 cents in just from the standpoint of, you know, when I look at what food is meant for us as human beings, I can't look at this modern age. I have to go back when we were very healthy 20, 30,000 years ago.
Yeah, well, we had no chronic disease.
When we had no chronic diseases, when we were actually living off the wild land, and what food was available there, and how was it constructed for us. And it was always seasonal. It was always local. You know, those 2 things, you know, like what's the season for bread? Mm-hmm. You know, and you have to ask yourself these questions.
They couldn't make bread if it wasn't, if the grain had not been harvested.
That's right, and you know, they're harvested at certain times. I think in the tropics, you have much more choices of vegetation that is easier to digest than you do if you're living up in northern Canada or even in the northern United States, or, you know, in the colder climates. Then you have to come up with lots of different ways of preparing your food and storing your food, because in certain areas, there's not going to be either wildlife or maybe a growing season available. You know, you got a long time in Siberia. You're not going to grow much in 10 months of the year, maybe.
Yeah,
I don't know. You know, maybe 6 months of the year. But still, it restricts what you can do and how you can survive. So when we're looking at modern food, that eliminates a lot of modern food, and that's pretty much what my take on it. I've tried to eliminate, you know, that 30,000 year ago food is not here anymore.
Exactly.
We don't have the access to wild things anymore, especially wild vegetables. Mm-hmm. You know, the only thing wild really is the spices and the herbs.
And those are often irradiated when they get into processing.
Often, yeah. So if you get them unirradiated and you get them organic, then you've got a source of really, really quality vitamins and, you know, all that...
Phytochemicals.
Phytochemicals, that's the word I was looking for.
Which is also found in what? Essential oils.
Exactly. And, you know, so the other thing is, too, is that we're subjected to a lot more today, as far as toxins are concerned, than we were 20 or 30,000 years ago.
And I think that's exactly my point, that the foods, like you said, if we're eating foods that aren't part of our wild diet, and when you really look at it, what I don't like to see is this judgment that vegan is right or wrong, or primal or paleo or ketogenic is right or wrong. I mean, let's take a look at the Inuit people of you know, the Eskimos. I mean, they live off of whale blubber. Yeah. There's just no plants for them to eat. So if you have a vegan perspective, how can you be judgmental against these people that, you know, same thing. If you are in a tribe where animal foods, from a cost standpoint, because you've always made the point, you know, avoiding animal foods and using grains was more of a starvation diet type of thing. I mean, you know, how can you judge them?
In the past, we know that, and they certainly can get us through.
Yeah.
And that's why they're important. And if I'm out in the woods and somebody hands me a piece of bread and I'm starving, I'd be a fool to turn it down. The same with if you're a vegetarian and the only thing you can grab is a rabbit, and you rather die than eat the rabbit, you've got a problem. Because, you know, it's, you know, you're giving your life for a rabbit. That doesn't equate to me, because survival means you survive.
Well,
that's not an opinion. You know, you have to rationalize. You have to come up with some reason not to die.
Well, there are some very beautiful spiritual beings in the world, the American Indians, that very often, ate animal foods, and I think they also, were very respectful of nature and animals. And so my take on that is to the best proof is in the pudding, so to speak. When you start to apply.
Well, if you're going to be a grass eater, you have to kind of spend a lot of time eating. That's what the cows do, and if you're going to do what the cows do, be a vegetarian, eat all those things, you've got to graze. You've got to, and you're going to be hungry a lot.
So, and take a look at the cow.
Yeah, you're going to have a big stomach as you get older.
Big stomach, and you're going to be.
Well, they have 4 stomachs, so there's a lot of things going on there. But the thing is, I think if you look at the history of human beings, there's never been a vegetarian tribe. I think there's places where a lot of times in the summertime that may be the only thing to eat. But I've never seen it, not in indigenous people. I've only seen it in people for the reason for saving animals, which is admirable. But if you look at the other side, if you clear a field for wheat, you're killing everything that lives in that field because that wheat won't grow with other things.
You're destroying habitat.
You're destroying habitat. Remember what these things are. They're grass seeds. The wheat, all the grains are grass seeds, and they're annuals. They're not there all the time. So they only grow by seed. They don't replant themselves. The seed has to plant them. So the plant actually dies after a little while. So the seed is the only thing that lives on. That's why we prize it so much, so we can plant it again. But it is a fill-in. In nature, it's only used as a fill-in when the fire comes and something has to grow really fast. Otherwise, the soil kind of gets washed away or blown away. So you need a filler, and that's where the annuals come in. That's what it's made of. Somebody, some genius somewhere along the line decided these seeds can help me survive. And he may have saved the human race. That doesn't mean we make this a staple. We use it. It's very useful. If you prepare it right, it's actually a pretty healthy food.
That's a good point. So Steve makes the comment, that the physician, Dr. Barnard, made some very good presentations with statistical backup. And trust me, I have seen presentations on all the different diet lifestyles, and I have been compelled and impressed with the statistical data. Those of you that are newsletter subscribers, watch next newsletter, because I watched a presentation done by a medical doctor who explains how medical statistics are skewed to produce a result primarily manipulated by the drug companies so that they can create drugs from these statistics. This sleight of hand.
Because they invent diseases as we go along. We have so many more diseases these days than we never had before.
And do remember that the director of the New England Journal of Medicine for 20 years made the comment that most medical research is just not trustworthy because of the funding and groups that do it. But I'm not saying that his research is not. I believe that there can be, situations where certain diets, when someone is struggling, with a disease, going where, say for example, cancer, getting that nutrition in a ready-to-use format, the enzymes. We haven't really talked, we talk about macro and micronutrients, but the enzymes that are available by way of smoothies or phytochemical blending or juicing can be a real help to a body that's struggling without sufficient enzymes, and that's beyond this discussion today.
Yeah, and those are useful because, first of all, you're taking the digestive system out of it. So these people are under stress, they need nourishment. It's kind of like tube feeding per person. So these things really work in certain situations very well. This is how we get better. So there's lots of methods for that. So
well, it's like a cleanse. Many times a cleanse is when I do conscious coaching on cleansing, my little words there to remember, I really encourage people sometimes we take a little break from some of our more dense foods.
Kind of like moving the furniture around in the house. And once in a while, you just got to do it.
That's a really great analogy, and I think I sent it into the news feed. Dr. John Douillard's discussion, he's a very renowned Ayurvedic practitioner. He talks about the key is not to argue about these diets, but to eat seasonally. Just as Nico and I say, the best diet is to eat seasonally, and in the many cultures look to what's available to them in the winter.
Yeah.
What's available in the spring and summer.
And if you really want to do experiments on yourself, then an elimination diet, which means starting with just one food that you have suspect, and eat that for the day.
Well, you got to eliminate it first.
Well,
eat it
can,
first.
You can do it first, and then eliminate it. That's my method. I think it's a little faster than, I'll eliminate potatoes and see how I feel. Well, you probably feel pretty good, because potato is not the most nutritious food. It's a great starvation food. But, or broccoli, or anything that you do, or a piece of meat. I had my client, Sharon, said, I ate some red meat, and she says, I got through it, but boy, I needed a hydrogen chloride.
HCl.
HCl. And she said, but I'm going to try it again. I said, well, red meat is tougher to digest than like if you went to chicken or another meat or fish or something like that. So, don't have to do it all the time. I mean, I'm not telling you to eat red meat. If you want to, that's great. Well, my sister never liked red meat. She never ate it. Unfortunately got cancer. But, it doesn't mean that the red meat caused it or it didn't cause it. Or the grains did or didn't. We don't know, how these things come about. But the gene somehow is shifted on. And I just think that we have a much better chance of preventing. You're always talking about prevention. And I believe that's the key. Because once you get something, now you've got to really pay attention. So,
and all rules are off.
Yes.
When you actually have something you need to reverse and you need to take a look at other things. Remember,
you're right about that. Because I was watching a program about medicine men, and what they're doing and having the people do, you would think this is just opposite of what you would think, and then 4 or 5 days later, these people walk out cured. And their symptoms are gone. But not only the symptoms are gone, the lumps are gone. So, there's a lot of wise people out there that know a lot of good things, and that's the adventure of the human being, is finding these people and getting close to them and finding out what works for them, and then going on to the next person and see, what good you can get from everybody that you meet, because everybody's going to give you valuable information. That's what human beings did, to evolve the way we've evolved. We're just, for the last couple hundred years, I think we're just on the wrong road. We're getting way too political, too much confrontation. People are sicker in the head. There's a lot more violence out, and that's a symptom of our society. And that shows that we're really on the wrong track. And I think the number one thing that we can do to change that is to change how and what we consume.
So we turn back to get right on the track.
Yeah, and
we gotta look at that.
And the thing is, politically, we can't do it, and we can't do it by passing laws, but we can do it by eating local and getting to know your farmer.
Wild, seasonal.
Yeah, and, the people that are close to you, that live near you, those are the ones that can help you. The people, you go to a doctor's office and you have a good relationship with that. I've got some Facebook requests from a whole bunch of people in New York, and this doctor, contacted me, and he says, our whole staff listens to you. And he says, we're telling our patients to listen to you.
That's my friend. That's Dr. Cohen.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's our group. He's
that's just
one
amazing,
of the premier...
that we can touch people, and they're actually recommending it, and they're enjoying the show. And I say thank you very much. That means a lot to me.
Yeah.
And you guys can listen to us just yakking here. And all we're doing is really trying to do the research to get you started on the right path. We don't say we have all the answers. I think I've got the answer for myself. I'm pretty satisfied. But I'm always changing things. I'm always looking for, boy, that's cool, let me try that. My sauna, by the way.
I know. It's awesome.
Last night I missed it because of our program, so that's how special you are. I'll tell you that. That's doing a world of good for me. And my massage therapist, Hope, she says, my God, what's the change here? I says, you're not jumping off the table anymore. My body's much more relaxed. I think I'm getting rid of the toxins. This stuff really works, folks. And it's not expensive. You can do it easily. I showed you last week how to just put one in your spare shower or bathtub. It works.
Yeah, we like giving those tips, tools, and techniques to keep you living a primal lifestyle. We got to go for a break, so we'll see you after the break.
Yeah, 877-927-6648 is the number. Okay, let's talk. You know what's cool? taking something that's good for you, something specifically formulated to help with weight loss, better sleep, stress reduction, and the need to detox.
Nico, our hunter and gatherer ancestors found all their nutritional requirements for health in their wild environment. But today, our food sources no longer contain the vitamins, minerals, and nutrients our bodies need to stay healthy and strong.
That's why we need Primal Edge Daily Nutrition. It includes a special blend of ionic, oil-based vitamins, minerals, fatty, and amino acids in an easy-to-use liquid form.
Primal Edge is powered by highly concentrated fulvic and humic acids, nature's preferred delivery system. They have been called miracle molecules because, like sunlight, air, and water, life cannot exist without them.
That's right, Paige. They ensure we receive all the nutrition we need to be healthy and thrive. We take it every morning.
Primal Edge, formulated and approved by Nico and Paige of Living a Primal Lifestyle. Buy it today for just $89. Click on the Primal Edge banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
Tom O'Brien's weekly gold letter, The Gold Report, gives complete and concise coverage of the entire gold market. Inside, you'll get Tom's commentary on gold, the dollar, the rand, the bond, the XAU, the HUI, and detailed coverage of nearly 25 mining stocks. He'll give you the entry price, price target, and stop price of each stock trade. The Gold Report is a long-term newsletter where the focus is on building real wealth through the management of a successful portfolio of gold stocks. With a lifetime of knowledge and almost 12 years of writing his informative weekly newsletter, The Gold Report, Tom O'Brien can provide you with the important market information to help you make better trades in the gold market. Don't let the next bull run in gold pass you by. To get a month-long free trial to The Gold Report, an $85 value, visit the front page of TFNN.com today.
David White's newsletter, The Technology Insider, is focused like a laser on finding the next big things in technology. If you had invested only $10,000 in Microsoft in 1986, you'd have been a millionaire by 2000. Disruptive technology like Microsoft's is the key to these massive long-term profits, and the Tech Insider is the vehicle from TFNN to capitalize on these opportunities. This is the go-to newsletter that identifies, monitors, and profits on mostly little-known cutting-edge companies with great long-term prospects. David's experience is as an inventor of Emmy-winning animation products for TV and Hollywood that propelled a company public. Match that with 14 years as a full-time trader, and he's uniquely qualified to guide you through the light-speed world of ever-evolving high-tech. If you're ready to ride the next big technology bull market for less than $40 per month, log on to TFNN.com and get your 2-week free trial to the Technology Insider. Get in on the ground floor of the next big thing today.
Hi, I'm Steve Rhodes, host of the Trader's Edge, heard daily at TFNN.com and author of Mastering Probability, a daily investment and trading newsletter service that I send out each morning by 8 a.m. My morning newsletter service covers exactly what the markets have been doing since last night's close, providing you with an edge on your trading day ahead. You get actionable trading ideas, including the exact entry, stop, and profit targets. Plus, I'll teach you the patterns and hidden market correlations that will make you a better trader. As a subscriber, you'll gain access to my 90-minute money management workshop, where I'll teach you the secrets that'll save your assets. The bottom line, I've got your back, including a 30-day money-back guarantee. See for yourself the type of analysis I provide each trading day by signing up for Mastering Probability today. With nothing to lose, this is an offer you should not pass on. Mastering Probability can be found under Trading Newsletters on the front page of TFNN.com.
Catch Steve Rhodes as he teaches techniques on technical analysis using pattern recognition, celestial charting, Fibonacci, and other tools. The Trader's Edge, next on TFNN.
Welcome back, folks. Nico and Paige here. So we were talking about the Dr. Neil Bernard.
Yes, and actually Steve was making the comment, you know, he responded back that there's a couple good videos that he makes on the supporting the vegan diet.
And specifically also curing diabetes.
Correct.
That's some of the programs he has.
And I want to make the point,
okay,
Nico, that there's excellent evidence of people, raw for 30 days, you know, for example,
right,
that people that adapt a vegan lifestyle or vegetarian lifestyle can reverse diabetes. Diabetes is diabetes type 2 is a completely reversible disease because it is a lifestyle disease. But at the same time, that same compelling, excellent research is found in abundance by major medical doctors and renowned people that purport the benefits of a ketogenic diet in reversing diabetes, heart disease. So I think you can see what my key point is, that we don't have to be extremists. We don't have to compete.
Well, both of those may be extreme to certain people.
Well, what I'm trying to say is that they're extreme, but there's benefits to both.
Yeah.
And they can. What's the common denominator in both of those?
Really good food.
There's no processed, packaged foods in those diets. Okay? So the key is, it's not whether you want to be a carnivore and eating, a high-fat ketogenic diet, or you want to be a vegan that practices no harm to any living being, or not to eat anything with eyes. A lot of that.
But that to me is that approach doesn't work to me, because you're killing much more animals when you're clearing fields.
Okay, but you're falling into judgment again. So what I want to say is.
Well, it's not a judgment that they are killing everything there.
But
they use a lot more pesticides.
And let's just say that that's my key point. And I think this is the important point, is the research that you're seeing when people adopt either one of these, whether it be, as I mentioned, this doctor that I watched, Dr. David Diamond, talk about the compelling evidence of reversing heart disease and the whole cholesterol lie, and how they're manipulating this data by eating a super high-fat diet, how much longer you live if your cholesterol is high, and how these guys manipulate it. And with the same thing that probably, I'm sure, we'll see with this Dr. Neal's research.
Yeah, you have to eat all the great greens and the fruits and do juicing and all those things.
What's the common denominator? Both of those.
Really
high-fat.
Good food, yep.
No processed, no Frankenfood, no Cheetos, no processed overnight grains, no 1600 degree salt, no overnight cheese. Okay, can cheese be a healthy food? Yeah, if you age it and it's raw,
and if you're,
from cows that eat grass.
Able to digest it, because a huge part of the population is not able to digest casein unless it's really pure. But then, the American Indian never could.
Right, but again, when it's raw, they might be able to.
No, they didn't, because when the Vikings came over in the 1200s, they weren't pasteurizing their milk and cheese. That was all raw stuff they were carrying with them.
Yeah.
So there are certain populations that are allergic to things.
And that may be an epigenetic expression, and their ability to digest it, because you're exactly right. Just like we know, like the American Indian doesn't process alcohol so well.
Well, it's probably somewhere along the line somebody came up with the thing, we're starving, let's milk this animal, or let's get, milk from it. I see milk coming out, there's a calf there, and found out that, 5 of the people in the tribe died from it, but the rest of them survived, and they're the ones that the genes went on, so they went on to be able to digest the cow thing. That's a simplification, but you get the drift. And that's the same thing with if you're born into a high processed lifestyle and you do that for a long time, you're probably able to survive a lot longer on that. Somebody who just comes across and starts eating that has never eaten that before.
And then Dr. Schmidt that you were talking about, the raw milk cure that we talked about, Ron
exactly.
Schmidt.
So there's a lot of things out there.
Good and bad on both, but...
do the research. That's what we're going to do after we leave right here. And we're leaving like in 10 seconds. So thanks a lot for sticking around.
Have a great weekend.
Take care.
See you next
Happy Halloween.
Since 1984, Basil Chapman has been using the Chapman Wave methodology to advise traders of his expert market opinion. While originally hand-drawing charts from the late 1970s into the 1980s, Basil noticed that prices under most circumstances virtually always had a certain number of legs to the upside before declining sharply. Later, Basil found that computer software, which included the standard market technical indicators, enhanced the degree of accuracy in calling price turns, as well as market trend calls. Thus was born the Chapman Wave sequence. Using the Chapman Wave methodology along with other indicators, Basil Chapman advises his subscribers of his expert market opinion each market day with his opening call newsletter. Right now, you can get a 2-week free trial to the opening call, Basil's daily trading newsletter, by visiting the front page of TFNN.com. Cancel at any time during that trial and pay absolutely nothing. Get your 2-week free trial to Basil's newsletter, The Opening Call, today by visiting TFNN.com.
You're watching Tiger TV.